In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to assemble the really annoying gift box. So far, I released a base set and then an expansion pack, and then I just released another expansion. So if you've ordered it from me or if you've printed it yourself, you should have all of the pieces. This is how it'll arrive to you assembled without the bolts. We'll go ahead and start removing some of these layers, and depending on what you ordered, you're either going to have that full kit, or as you'll notice as we get more and more of these layers off, we get all the way down to the base set because all of these boxes do nest together. So the boxes can be used individually or they can be all put together. It really just depends on the size of the gift that you're looking to put inside of it. The smallest box, the original base set was designed for a gift card or a wad of cash or something like that. But then obviously the bigger boxes can hold bigger gifts. So you're gonna have a ton of bolts with it. The original one, it comes with just normal flathead bolts, but you could also order the extra annoying bolts, which has 5 different variations. So if you got the regular bolts, you're just gonna get these 2 little flathead tools. And if you got the extra annoying bolts, then you are gonna get the 5 different tools for the 5 different bolt patterns. So these are all the pieces for that base set we're gonna go ahead and start putting together. So you're gonna put your gift inside this smallest box, and then you're gonna put the lid on the box, making sure that it's in the right orientation for the bolts to hold the lid in place. You're gonna get it on there, and then you're gonna put bolts in all of these bolt holes along the lid. Once we've got those in place, we can go ahead and put this box into the next box. So we're gonna put it with the lid side down into this outer box, and once we've got that in place, then we're gonna put bolts into all of these outer holes to hold that inner box in place. Now we can go ahead and put this outer collar around that. This collar basically just blocks you from getting to those bolts, and then we're gonna put this lid on and bolt the lid in place. And now we are almost done with the base set. All we have to do is put on these outer 2 shells, and then once we got those in place, we are going to once again insert a bunch of bolts into these last few holes. And that is it for the base set. Again, this one has 134 bolts that you got to get to the center, and we are going to just nest this inside the other boxes. So let's keep on going. These pieces are for the first expansion pack that I released. It's got 162 more bolts. So these pieces just fit together like this. If we're going to be nesting it, then we're just going to put our base set inside of there, put these pieces together, and then we're going to bolt them together just in this center column right here. And with that bolted together, we can move on to the next step, which is adding these outer shells. Now, if you're going to be adding the second expansion, then you don't want to add this ribbon. But if this is as far as you're going, if you've just got the first expansion, then you can add that ribbon on there. We're going to go ahead and take it off because we are adding the second expansion. So from there, we will add in bolts into all of these outer faces on the box. And once we've got those added in, we can go ahead and add on these end caps and get them bolted into place as well. And that is it for the first expansion. These pieces add 162 bolts to the original 134 bolts, giving us a total of 296 bolts. Now that we've got the first expansion built up, we can go ahead and start working on the second expansion. So these are all the pieces, and again, if you don't have the inner pieces or if you've got a larger gift, you can just put it right into this box and slide these boxes together like this. But we do have the base set and the first expansion, so we are going to grab all of that and we are going to slide that into this box. And then we're going to take all of this, slide it into the other box, and then we are going to start the long task of putting bolts into all of these holes on these outer faces. Once we have all of that bolted in, we are going to grab these collars and we're going to slip them on into place. The reason I had to add these collars was so you had to remove the lids before you could remove the bolts from the body and start sliding things apart. So you're going to put the collars on, then you're going to put these lids on, get those all bolted into place, and we will be completely done. Now, this second expansion adds 370 more bolts to the original 296, giving us a grand total of 666 bolts that you have to remove to get to the gift inside.